Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting in a Fan. Good evening to all of you and yours in YouTube land, and I hope that all of you and yours in YouTube land are happy and healthy, safe and well. Right now the time is approximately 8:36 p.m. Eastern Time, and the date is Monday, December 28th, 2020. Tonight is the night before the full moon in Cancer, which is why I'm wearing this beautiful gradient silk sarong length scarf. If you see pink, it's not your imagination, nor is it your color settings on your monitor or your TV. My life partner was doing the laundry one day and he added this to something that had a red item. So some of the red bled onto the scarf, so and it's permanent, unfortunately. So, but I did forgive him. I did not kill him. I did not smack him. Besides, that's a great opportunity for him to give me, to find for me another beautiful silk sarong length scarf. After all, my birthday is just around the corner, right? Well, you don't know that. He knows that. Anyway, so welcome to the January 2021 entry for Llewellyn's 2021 Tarot Calendar. Insights, spreads, and tips by Barbara Moore, and of course, with a lot of my videos, when I'm casting the cards, there are close-ups. So of course I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, also known as Drake, do a close-up of the cover of this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cover of this beautiful new calendar. Although it's not really new, because all Llewellyn annuals are published in July or August of the previous year. This is for 2021, and if memory serves, this was published in August of this year. And now I'm going to have him do a close-up of the back of the calendar, this beautiful wall calendar. I don't think there are any other tarot-themed wall calendars out there. I think that right now Llewellyn is the only company publishing a tarot-themed wall calendar. But if you hear of any out there, please let me know. Oh, Isis, what's the matter? Stop kissing. Oh my goddess. She's kind of been in a mood because my life partner cleared out a lot of goop in her ear, and she's just like, she's still like processing. And now I'm going to have him do a close-up of the front of the January 2021 entry, and I will be casting the cards. I will tell you that I actually, well, full disclosure, I totally forgot to give myself this tarot deck, the Tarot of the Little Prince. So I'm a little embarrassed that I forgot. But all day long today, I've been casting the cards with goddess-themed decks. So I figured, let me use a goddess-themed tarot deck that, although was not published by Llewellyn Publishing directly, it was published by Lo Scarabeo. And some of you know that Lo Scarabeo is located in Italy. They have these gorgeous tarot and oracle card decks. And Llewellyn Publishing is their exclusive American and Canadian distributor. So I'm using my personal favorite themed goddess, goddess-themed tarot deck for when I cast the cards for this particular spread. But we have the Ten of Cups from the Tarot of the Little Prince. We have an article called Boost the Power, which I'm very much looking forward to reading. We have the symbol of the rose, which is held in the right hand of the Little Prince. And we have the Home Sweet Home Tarot spread. So, let me begin with the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups represents fulfilling, happy, healthy relationships, as well as family, however you define it. It is the place where you feel safe, knowing that you are surrounded by those you love and those who love you. I love that. I love that. As I would say, those whom you love and adore, and those who love and adore you. I love combining the word love. I love the phrase love and adore, love and adoration, as opposed to love and desire. Disco is forever. Anyway, silliness aside, I've often interpreted the Ten of Cups as a wish fulfilled, accompanied by an unexpected juicy bonus. And I really dig that. Oh, Isis, what's the matter? You're not radiating the energy of the Ten of Cups. Hi, boss. Hi, Bast. Bast absolutely is. I got our little spark. Not intentionally. But, you know, the static and all that other stuff. Anyway. So yeah, I always interpreted it as such. Although the Ten of Cups could be, you know, I mean, simply put, it could be massive, abundant, divine fulfillment. So abundantly divine fulfillment is another interpretation, or another possible interpretation of the Ten of Cups. Now, boost the power. Oh, I love this. I'm looking forward to this. Many believe that crystals have specific energy that is available to us. Keep a crystal with your tarot deck to channel that energy. A deck used for relationship readings can be stored with a rose quartz. Citrine is a good match for a deck dedicated to financial concerns. An amethyst is a natural match for the deck you use for your spiritual work. While doing a reading, place the crystal nearby. If you love crystals in general, consider having a crystal to represent each of the suits and the major arcana in your reading space to bring a balanced energy. Okay, so this was not what I expected with this article, and I'm really digging this article. So I want to say a little bit about that. So for years, and it really has been the case for a few years, off and on, I've had people tell me, people that are both professional readers and people that are not professional readers, say to me that, hold on, Isis, oh, she's over there. Now sometimes Isis is a bad girl and she uses the bathroom, which is not her bathroom, but the human-looking creature's bathroom. So she's going to need to suck it up and use the litter boxes. Isn't that right, Isis? I love how you act like you don't hear me talking. I'm looking right at you and I'm talking to you. And you know I'm doing a video. And you know what that means. And of course, Bast the kitten is so spread out in the hallway that she's just like, oh, that's why she's not looking at me, because I would mean looking in the direction of where Bast is. Okay. So I love that idea. I love that idea. I would actually recommend a different crystal for a relationship-oriented deck. I would recommend an emerald, and I would also recommend, I forgot the kind of clear quartz it is, but it's a twin flame clear quartz, you know, that it has two together. But, you know, and I, as much as I want to go down that rabbit hole, I'm not prepared to go down that rabbit hole. So what I'm also going to say, for years, when I do have crystals on the layout cloth, on the table that I'm going to use for, you know, conducting readings with cards, or conducting readings in general, but primarily with cards, because, you know, the tarot man, I do like to have crystals that enhance psychic ability. So for the most part, I definitely have moonstone, selenite, amethyst, fluorite, clear quartz. Apophyllite is a wonderful crystal that I'm long overdue to replace. In fact, there is one place that I know of that sells apophyllite in Manhattan, and I'm long overdue to return. And you know what? I just realized that might be one of the places I'm going to go to for my birthday next month. Yes, yes, yes. They definitely have apophyllite. The name of the place is called Stick, Stone, and Bone, and they are my personal favorite metaphysical store in Manhattan. I mean, granted, there aren't that many metaphysics stores in Manhattan now, but of all the ones that I've gone to for as long as I've been going to metaphysics stores anywhere, including Manhattan, it is my personal favorite. And they definitely have apophyllite. Apophyllite is a really great crystal for enhancing psychic ability and enhancing the clairs, especially clairvoyance. So now, let me read about the rose. The rose. You know what I just thought of? I thought of the roses on Schitt's Creek. Especially Moira. Moira's in a class by herself. If you're a Schitt's Creek fan, let me know in the comments. The rose. In the story of the Little Prince, the prince discovers the transformative power of love. His rose is special and unique for no other reason than because he loves it. See, I really need to read this story. I do. So I'm going to take a sip of my coffee before I cast the cards. So, in my weekly draws video earlier today, I pulled a card from two different goddess-themed oracle card decks. One published by US Game Systems, and one published by Lo Scarabeo. When I was casting the cards for the Tarot and Oracle card prompts for the Many Moons 2021 Lunar Planner for January 2021, I used two goddess-themed oracle card decks, both published by Blue Angel Publishing or Blue Angel Gallery, located in Glen Waverley, Victoria, Australia. But for as long as I've known about this deck and had this deck, this remains my personal favorite goddess-themed tarot deck. And it is called the Universal Goddess Tarot. It is a Lo Scarabeo deck, and it was written by Maria Carati and illustrated by Antonella Platano. My personal thing when I cast the cards in the months that have spreads in Llewellyn's tarot-themed wall calendars is that I use a tarot deck published by either Llewellyn Publishing or Lo Scarabeo. If I cannot use that very same tarot deck, I at least use one published by Llewellyn or by Lo Scarabeo. So I'm going to use the Universal Goddess Tarot. I already prepared the deck. I already shuffled the deck and cut the deck. So what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to read the general information about the spread first, and then I'm going to read what each card represents, and then I'm going to place the cards here, and then in the interest of convenience, I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of each card as I hold it up. I am going to start with the back of the card design, which I love, love, love. I love this back of the card design. Anyway, so the name of the spread is called Home Sweet Home. It is a 4-card spread, and of course with my readings I'm going to pull a final message card from the bottommost part of the deck. The remaining cards, the bottommost one. Anyway, I could have said that a lot better and I don't know why I didn't, but anyway. While the Ten of Cups represents a strong, happy home, in the real world, even the happiest homes have challenges. This spread identifies a problem area so you can explore it, finding the root cause and how to alleviate it. Finally, it reveals an unexpected gift that can result from doing the important work of taking care of your relationships. And I love, love, love that Barbara Moore wrote this because, and mind you, I've been giving readings professionally for 25 to 30 years. I know that romantic relationships are important. I know that romantic relationships make a difference, but they're not the only relationships we have. We have relationships with blood relations. We have relationships with friends. We have relations with the people with whom we cohabitate, especially those of you who have like a bazillion roommates. I've met people that have multiple roommates, and it's like, how do y'all fit in the same place? Granted, it's like a 3-bedroom apartment, but how do y'all fit? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, and of course, let's not forget the relationship with yourself, the relationship with your deity, or as I would say, with your goddess, your relationship with your co-workers and your supervisors. Those are all important relationships as well, unless, you know, you're like this self-made millionaire and you don't, or millionaires, and you don't need anybody for anything. Then it's another story. Okay, so I'm going to read this again. While the Ten of Cups represents a strong, happy home, in the real world, even the happiest homes have challenges. This spread identifies a problem area so you can explore it, finding the root cause and how to alleviate it. Finally, it reveals an unexpected gift that can result from doing the important work of taking care of your relationships, all of your relationships, but in this case, the relationships with the people with whom you live, whoever they may be for you out there in YouTube land. If you already know the problem you want to work on, go through your deck and pick a card that best represents it and place it in the first position, drawing the remaining cards as usual. So again, I already prepared the deck because the cards were in the order in which they appeared, and then I shuffled the deck altogether 39 times, but it was 3 sets of 13 times, and then I cut the deck into 3 piles and put 1 pile on top of the other 2. So those cards are ready. Card number 1 is the problem. Card number 2 is the underlying issue. Card number 3 is the advice, and card number 4 is the unexpected gift. And then I will turn over the bottommost card, which I call the final, which I was taught is the final message card, and then that will add another layer. Okay, so I will keep this here for reference. So I'm going to lay out the cards now. So card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, card number 4, and I will take out the bottommost card now, and then I'll put these cards back where they are. Okay, so card number 1 is the problem, and I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person look at the card. Well, I'm going to have him do a close-up of the back of the card design, the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous back of the card design, and then I will have him do a close-up of the front of the card. And then I will look at the front of the card and tell you what it is. Okay. So it is the 2 of Wands. And I actually forgot the name of this goddess. I have an idea as to who it is. Because remember, my very second goddess course, I actually worked with this deck. Okay, 2 of Wands. Yes. Her name is Atanasic. Her name is spelled capital A, T as in Tom, A, E, N as in Nancy, T as in Tom, S as in Sam, I, C as in Charles. So Atensic is an Iroquoian goddess. Interestingly enough, I was reading about an Algonquin nation as opposed to an Iroquoian nation yesterday. So it's the 2 of Wands. So I would say if you live in a household with more than 2 people, it is the person with whom you have the closest connection. So let's say for the sake of argument that you live with 5 roommates, but you are closest to one of the 4 other roommates more so than the other roommates together. So it would be the primary or the main relationship that you have with your main roommate. If, let's say, you're in a romantic relationship and you only live with that romantic partner, then it would be that one. If you are a mother or a father or a parent of more than one child, it would be the one with whom you have the closest connection or the one with whom you've had the greatest challenges lately. So Atensic, I'm going to mispronounce her name, and I normally don't do that, is a Native American goddess of the Iroquois nation. So what I'm getting from this card is pay attention to the words being spoken. So the problem in this relationship right now is the words that are being spoken. And it could be words that are seemingly innocent, it could be words that are innocuous, that don't have an edge to them, and it could be words, and possibly it could be words that you're not saying. But what I'm hearing is there are words that are being said, there are words that are being communicated, and it could be not just verbally, it could be words that are communicated in writing, like a little love note, or a note on the fridge, or it could be a text message or an email. But whatever those words are, they're part of the problem. So there may be certain words that need to be used less often and certain other words that need to be used more often. And I'm remembering something, and I'm not remembering where I read this, although I have this vague recollection that I saw it as part of a TV show. And it could have been a trailer that I was watching for a reality TV show that I probably didn't watch anyway. But what stuck with me was that the 2 people having this argument were advised as to how to say what they needed to say without blaming the other person. So instead of saying, I hate that you do this, say, this is how I feel when you do this, or this is how I feel when you say this. And so that could be something that you might want to consider as a way of alleviating and dissolving the problem that you're having. Okay, card number 2, the underlying issue. Once again, I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the back of the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous back of the card design. And now I'm going to have him do a close-up of the front of the card. And when I saw the gown that the goddess is wearing, I had a feeling I knew which goddess this is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm going to reconfirm this just to be on the safe side, but I have a feeling this is indeed the goddess that I'm thinking of. And if it's not the goddess that I'm thinking of, then I have a feeling that it's going to be another goddess. Okay, I am incorrect. So I thought the goddess was Pandora. It's not Pandora, it's Anya. So Anya, whose name is spelled capital A-I, N as in Nancy, E as in Edward, Anya is, although sometimes I've seen it as Aini, but I like to pronounce it Anya. Anya is a goddess of the summer solstice. So this could be an underlying issue that began either during summer of 2020, maybe even summer of 2019, or even possibly summer of 2018. But definitely it was a problem that arose around summer. Now, this is the card that represents the underlying issue, and it is a Pentacles card. So there could be an underlying issue of either financial concern or physical health concern. You know, for example, I recently had a conversation with somebody who lost his position of employment. He was fired from, well, I shouldn't say loss. I take that back. Cancel, clear, delete. The position of employment he had, he no longer has because he was fired. And the reason why he was fired is because he kept showing up late too many times. It was a mass transportation issue, and unfortunately, these things happen. So one of the things that he found out from his now former employer is that he still has health insurance until the end of 2020, which I thought was fantastic, but he hasn't gone to a doctor to get a general checkup, and he has had a problem that's been recurring. And I've needed to say, you know what, Robert, you need to let this go. But I give a shit about the person, so it's I can say to myself, Robert, you need to let this go, but I give a shit about the person. If I didn't give a shit about the person, I wouldn't be like, you need to do this now, because as of this Friday, January 1st, 2021, he no longer has health insurance with his now former employer. But it's still there for me, you know what I'm saying? So again, this could be a financial issue that is the underlying issue, or it could be a physical health worry or fear that is the underlying issue. I feel that both are appropriate for you out there in YouTube land, because I'm getting that this is definitely resonating with me and for me. Okay, now, advice. So the third card is the advice card, and I'm just going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the front of the card. The only thing I do not like about this deck is that I cannot tell if the card is upright or reversed before I turn it over. I don't like that. It's a pet peeve of mine, but I get over it. The advice is from Flora, the Roman goddess of flowers, and I love that she's on the Eight of Wands. So what I'm getting, one of the pieces of advice that I'm getting from this card is to spend time in nature, or to invite the person with whom you're having this issue to spend time in nature with you. Now, even though I'm not a certified aromatherapist, and truth be told, I'm not somebody that really likes the word aromatherapy. I mean, I use it because people are familiar with that word, but I like to call it something else. I usually call it, kitchen witchery, herbology, but I mean, there is, and as somebody that has always had a love affair with anything ancient Egyptian, it came very natural for me to use essential oils and herbs, because the ancient Egyptian civilization was known for using unguents and essential oils. and using herbs in many of their spiritual practices. Keefe is another great example. So I feel like there may be something that you need to, that this is for the advice for all of you in YouTube land, you may want to spend time in nature with that person with whom you're having this issue. That's one option. Or you may want to place herbs and essential oils that are very healing, that are very relaxing, that are very comforting. And I keep hearing rose, because rose is wonderful for smoothing out tension, especially between people that have an emotional bond with each other. But I'm also hearing rose, I'm hearing lavender, I'm hearing sandalwood, especially if both of you have a sexual relationship with each other. Sandalwood is one of my personal favorite Fab Five essences, because it has 5 metaphysical properties, and it is one of 5 essences that have the same 5 metaphysical properties, or magical properties, if you will. So spend time in nature. If you're medically cleared for it, drink herbal tea. And I would also say place herbs that promote good congenial relationships in and around your home. You may even want to engage in some kitchen witchery and make a concoction of an herbal tea, especially with rose petals. Just be careful where you get the rose petals, because you want to make sure that they don't have any remaining residue of pesticides and whatnot. And that reminds me, there's a place that I am long overdue to go to also in Manhattan. It's called McNulty's. They sell coffees and herbs and teas. And they've been around since 1895, and they're still going. I just need to find out what their policies are as far as if they allow in-store shopping now and that kind of thing. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Unexpected gift. So again, I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the card. And it's Ironwoad. Ironwoad is the, no, she's a Welsh goddess. Ironwoad is the Welsh goddess of the circumpolar stars. The circumpolar stars are the stars that never dip below the horizon. And her name means silver wheel, which is why there is a silver wheel directly behind her. And of course, given the Roman numeral 10 at the top, it's the Wheel of Fortune. It is absolutely the card that, especially in this goddess-themed tarot deck, represents the energy of Isis Fortuna. So I'm going to say that with regards to this relationship, you're going to go forward. I feel that whatever this problematic situation is, it is going to be dissolved, number 1. Number 2, both of you will establish a greater sense of harmony with each other, with the underlying issue and with the problem at hand, number 2. And number 3, I really feel like both of you are going to have a fresher perspective, especially after, and if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong about this, oh, I could always peek, hold on. Yeah, okay. I'm going to say that especially after Saturday, March 20th, 2021, both of you will have a better handle on having overcome this situation. And I specify that date because it is the date of the vernal equinox, which some magical traditions call Ostara. And it is also the date of the first day of the new astrological year, because it is the date of the sun's beginning transit in the sign of Aries, the sign of new beginnings. So I really do feel that whatever this problem is, it is going to be dissolved. It is going to be overcome. You are going to come out stronger. You are going to come out more fulfilled, more healed, more divinely restored from the situation. And the final message card is, and I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of this amazing goddess, whose name I actually cannot believe I forgot. I remember that her name means serpent skirt, which helps nobody unless the Aztec and Mayan pantheon are your primary pantheons. It is, of course, a swords card, yes. Yes. Quatlicu. She is the Aztec Lady of Snakes. And this is the King of Swords. That's one of the things I've always loved about this tarot deck. All of the kings and all of the knights, which traditionally depict male figures, each depict goddesses. So in this tarot deck, all of the cards that would normally depict a male figure depict goddesses. Even the Fool card has a goddess. So this is Quatlicu. Quatlicu is the Lady of Snakes. Her name means serpent skirt. And think about the various symbolism of snakes. You have fertility, you have virility, you have transformation, you have transmutation, you have healing, you have the unknown, you have the unseen, you have the have yet to arrive. Snake symbolizes so many different things in so many different cosmologies. And because it is the King of Swords, I feel that the two of you, if it is two of you, but the people with whom you are having this problem are going to have a better relationship with each other and a deeper connection with each other, especially mentally, because swords relate to one's state of mind. Swords are about air, they're about mind and imagination. So I have a feeling that both of you, especially after Saturday, March 20th, 2021, will have a stronger connection to each other and a clearer relationship with each other. Like I want to say that both of you, I keep saying both of you, and I don't mean to say that, but what I'm getting from this card and from this casting of cards and from this spread is that it's the individual with whom you've been having the most problems lately. And this is especially true if you live with multiple people. So if you live with, let's say, 5 other people, of those 5, the one with whom you have the closest kinship. If it's just you and one other person, then it's you and that one other person. Or it could be somebody else with whom you have a close kinship that you don't necessarily live with, but there's a strong emotional connection, and there's been some tension lately. So I really feel that it is going to be dissolved. And you just might need to be a little patient. And I say that with a little bit of, oh please, not this shit again. Because, I have had a challenge with patience the last few years, but that's another topic for another video for another day. And I think that's it, YouTube. Thank you so much for honoring who I am and what I do. Let me know if you have this beautiful, gorgeous wall calendar, and if you have not yet purchased it, please do so. Make sure you get your copies. I have said this before, and I will happily say this again. I am over the moon with joy and delight and excitement that after more than a decade, Llewellyn Publications began publishing a tarot-themed annual again. And I am going to keep my promise. I said that as long as they publish at least 5, I'll be fine. They had a 2018, they had a 2019, they had a 2020, now they have a 2021. If they publish a 2022 and then they stop, I'll be fine. I'm not going to have a petition, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to boycott them, I'm not going to do any of that. But I won't deny, if Llewellyn Publications keeps publishing their Llewellyn tarot-themed wall calendars past 2022, I will be even more over the moon with joy and delight and excitement. But for all of you who love the tarot, for all of you who are in lust with the tarot, for all of you who live for tarot, for all of you who only use tarot, for all of you who have tarot decks up the yin-yang, for all of you who know people who live for the tarot, this is a no-brainer gift. And if you have not given it to yourselves, and if somebody owes you a holiday gift, tell them to give you this gift. Especially if you love the tarot, if you adore the tarot, or if you're like me in lust with the tarot. And if you have not given yourself this gift, and you match that criteria, then you owe it to yourself to give yourself this gift. Because look, the reality is that any company that publishes books and decks especially a metaphysical publishing house, especially an independent publisher, which Llewellyn Publications is, they're not going to keep publishing something or producing something or marketing something if it's not going to bring in what? Money. That's what happened. That's my belief that what happened with Llewellyn's tarot readers. They had these beautiful, thick books that had the calendar, that had articles, that had tips, that had spreads, that had tarot deck reviews, that had book reviews, and then people stopped buying them. And guess what happened? They stopped publishing them. So it makes me happy that people are buying this, and it makes me, it just made me deliriously happy when I saw that Llewellyn was already scheduled to publish this deck, this tarot calendar. So if you have not given yourself this gift, give yourself this gift. And if somebody owes you a birthday gift or a holiday gift, this is the gift to give them. And yes, and I'm going to keep my promise. I'm going to buy myself another copy so that I can have one on the wall. That way I can, peruse it, and I can have this just for use for the videos. But YouTube, thank you so much for honoring who I am and what I do. Thank you so very much for all the likes, for all the comments, for all the shares, for all the subscriptions. And of course, thank you to all of you who have been scheduling your sessions. And now that I have my Llewellyn's 2021 Daily Planetary Guide, as well as my Many Moons 2021 Lunar Planner, I've already scheduled my first private reading of January 2021, and I've already scheduled dates for returning to Notions and Potions in both February and March of 2021. And in either February or March of 2021, in February of 2021, I will schedule dates for April with Cheryl, the living goddess who owns Notions and Potions. And then, Goddess willing, we will have a psychic fair next door at Chill Wine Bar in May, which will be really cool. Of course, if we don't, then I'll be in the store offering in-person and phone and video and email readings. But that's another story, and that's definitely another topic for another video for another day. I wish all of you and yours the happiest and healthiest of holidays, of New Year's, and peaceful and prosperous blessings, and stay tuned for the next video.